Hi my lovely people, welcome back to another fabulous fragrance video. In this video, I am going to be sharing with you the luxury designer fragrances from my collection that I rate 10 out of 10. These are absolutely perfect. They can't get any better. They are the best of the best luxury designer fragrances from, the Pkwy lines of fragrance houses, designer fragrance houses, and other designer fragrances that are super luxury. You probably saw I did a video before this one all about affordable designer fragrances that I rate 10 out of 10. That was uploaded before this. I will link it up here and down in the description box for you to check out. Make sure to check that one out. And I promised you in that video that I will be doing a luxury designer version of that video and a niche version of that video, 10 out of 10 luxury designer and 10 out of 10 niche fragrances video. So the niche one will be coming up after this one. So if you want to find out what luxury designer fragrances I rate 10 out of 10, stay tuned. So you guys, it turns out I have more luxury designer fragrances that I rate 10 out of 10 than the affordable ones. I mean, I'm not really surprised by that because these are creme de la creme. They are very high quality fragrances, hence the high price, obviously. So I had more of the luxury designer fragrances that I rate 10 out of 10. So I have quite a few here that I want to share with you. So I'm going to try to make this video really fast because I want to keep my videos under 30 minutes from that's like my new goal. So anyway, let's get right to them. I think I want to open this video with a fragrance that I'm so smitten with. I'm so smitten. I'm quite the smitten kitten with this fragrance. This is so sexy that it's oozing sexiness. It's just like perfect. And it is, to my surprise, a leather fragrance, which I'm not usually a fan of leather dominant fragrances, but get this, guys. This puppy right here, this one is a smooth, sexy, I don't know, almost kind of sweet, beautiful leather fragrance. This is really a very sexy, musky leather fragrance, if that gives you context, because musk tends to make fragrances very edgy and sexy. In my experience, before I discovered this fragrance, I had smelled leather fragrances before this one, which I wasn't all that impressed with because they were very animalic, they were very pungent, some of them, then some of them were kind of masculine leaning, and this is, by the way, completely unisex, but I'll get to that here in a second. There was nothing really all that appealing about them for me as a woman, but this one right here, oh my goodness, this smells so sexy on me and I absolutely love it. And I recommend this 100% for those hot nights out where you just want to go clubbing or partying, or a hot date night, or hot night out, period. Let me show you what it is. It is Christian Louboutin's Loubi Raj. Oh my goodness, you guys, this fragrance. I mean, okay, first of all, take a look at the bottle. I mean, is this not to die for? Is it not to die for? I mean, this is really hefty, very substantial. I love the red capping in here. I'm not going to get too much into details of all that because I have done extensive reviews of the entire Loubi World collection, including this fragrance. Check that out. I'll link it up here and down in the description box. Let me just tell you just how much. Oh my God. By the way, I am not spraying this. I'm smelling it over here. This one is a beast. It's very strong. Although non-offensive, weirdly enough, it is not a fragrance that I have ever heard people are offended by. I mean, no one's ever said to me that, oh, it's too strong or anything like that. It is very sexy, like oozes sexiness, and it projects and it lasts, and oh my goodness. Oh, you guys, this is the most divine leather fragrance I've ever smelled in my life. And when I say leather, take it with a grain of salt. This doesn't actually smell very strongly of leather. If you're someone who's intimidated by the note of leather, or like me, previously used to be someone who generally didn't like leather fragrances, my friend, stop right there. Don't think about that too much. Buy this anyway, 100%, because the leather in here is just there, making it, giving it edge and that sexiness, but it doesn't smell like leather. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's actually, first of all, it's a leather accord. It's actually suede. The note that's in here is suede. That gives the leather accord. Actually, I'd rather describe it as almost balsamic rather than herbally, because people tend to get all scared when I use the word herbally. They think of like literally herbs. That's not what people mean when they describe a fragrance. At least people who know about fragrances, when they say herbally, they don't mean like literal herb smell. They mean like that very like dark, deep sultriness, like that. Oh, how do I explain it? That comes from some herbal notes like Davana. Do you get what I'm saying? I mean, are you getting what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm making sense. Sometimes when I tell you guys these things, maybe it's like a little too much. I don't know. This has, you guys, pink pepper, suede, and it has cedar and all these beautiful woody notes. I'm sure there's sandalwood in here as well. Those are the only notes that are revealed, because that's all Christian Louboutin ever reveals, only 3 notes. But I tell you, there's a huge amount of musk in here that makes it so sexy. The pink pepper in the opening is very like a happy, like bright note. You know, it's really amazing. And there are other, I am very sure there's something herbally like Davana in this fragrance that, ooh, gives it that sultriness. That's so sultry, so sexy. Gosh, I don't know how else to put it into real words. It smells like a very sexy woman, very fashionable party girl, you know, like fun party girl, fabulous, like, I don't know, someone like a society girl partying, that kind of fragrance. Smells very rich, very luxurious fragrance. This is one of my top fragrances. This makes my eyes roll into the back of my head. It's amazing. Loubi Raj. Now I'm gonna get through these quickly because these are also from the same fragrance collection. I have 2 more from the same. I'm not gonna belabor, like I'm not gonna go into too many details. This is Loubi Croc, 100% sexy, just like Loubi Raj, although it's kind of different. This is very, very oriental, very balsamic. It's very ambery, it's very woody, it's very kind of aromatic. It's like, you know, a little bit spicy. It's like everything sexy, you know, very balsamic, very woody, very, very, very sexy. Now this one is a myrrh queen, you know, like there's myrrh in this fragrance. It's very kind of balsamic note that's very deep and smoky and sultry, and whew, I don't know the words to use to describe myrrh. You guys, if you know myrrh, you know myrrh. There's actually cypress oil, nagamota, which to my surprise, I didn't think I used to like nagamota. Oh my gosh, apparently I do. It's kind of like Davana. It's like this like herbally kind of note that's kind of sexy, you know, like very like, I don't know, I think of like oily, sexy sort of herbaliness, you know. And there's lots of sandalwood in here. There are definitely some spices. There's a lot of amber in this fragrance that complement the myrrh super well. Very, very sexy. 100% approve. It's 10 out of 10 fabulosity. These are fragrances that is just what perfection looks like in a bottle. Okay, so that's that. And then here's another one. Well, you guys, if I can help it, I'm going to put the entire Loubi World collection in this video, but I'm not going to. I only chose 3 of them. I just adore this collection. I just can't help it, you guys. And here's another one, Loubi Rouge. Oh my goodness, this one is good too. This one is this gorgeous, slightly spicy vanilla with this powderiness from the iris that's in here, you know. Oh, yum, 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 yum. This one has a little bit of cardamom in the opening that adds that warm spiciness. There are other spices in here, obviously. Then there is this beautiful iris note that gives it this sort of sophistication, how do I describe it? This sort of old Hollywood 1920s flapper girl kind of sophistication, kind of vintage slightly vibes. But listen to me, okay? There's a difference between vintage and old lady, so don't you get that mixed up, okay? This does not smell like an old lady. This is just very, this looks like that, you know. This was the inspiration for this fragrance, was the cabarets in Paris from like the 1930s, 1920s. So very fabulous. It's very like, you know, movie star, showgirl, like not showgirl in a bad way, not in a low class way, like the actual like performances, like, oh my good grief, it's so good. One of the best vanillas. It's very unique, very well, I guess it's not exactly unique because I have smelled other spicy vanillas, but somehow this stands out. Don't ask me how. There are other notes in here, obviously we don't know about, that's contributing to the sexiness that is this fragrance. I feel like there are Christian Louboutins hiding some secrets that made this fragrance even more fabulous than we know it to be. I love this beautiful Louboutin heel on top of the globe pointing to Paris. Yeah, this is Louis Rouge. I absolutely adore it. Makes me feel fabulous, you know, like I was this like cabaret girl from like the 1920s, you know what I mean? So let me go to my another one of my favorite luxury designer fragrance houses, and two of my most beloved fragrances from that fragrance house. It's of course Louis Vuitton, and it's of course Attrape Rêves. You guys, this one is absolutely stunning. Oh my Lord, I love this fragrance. This one is perfection in a bottle. I just love this perfumer's, you know, compositions, and the perfumer behind Louis World Collection, man oh man, also perfect. This one is that gorgeous rosy fruity fragrance that screams spring and summer, you know. It's like one of my go-to top fragrances in warmer months. I absolutely adore it. And this is super beast mode, lasts forever. When I say beast mode, please take that term with a grain of salt. I wish we had a better term, honestly, than that. I'm not a huge fan of beast mode, which could mean something different from what we're trying to explain. When I say beast mode, I don't mean punch you in the face, offend people, knock people out. Not that. I mean, it's very good in performance, and it's just absolutely projecting and lasting and quite worth the price. That's what I mean. It opens with lychee ginger, that zinger ginger, the lychee fruitiness with that gorgeous rose and peony. You know, peony and rose, they are match made in heaven. I've told you this many a time. And there is a bit of a sweetness to this fragrance, and a bit of a confectionery sweetness, I would say, in it. It comes from the cacao powder that's in here, but it doesn't literally smell like cacao powder, you guys. Now listen, when it's a really great, well-blended composition, you're not gonna smell that like actual cacao powder, you know? But it's just there giving it this like, I don't know, slight gourmet twist with a edible quality, with the sweetness, if you know what I mean. This has a little teeny bit of patchouli that is very inoffensive, can't even tell. If you're afraid of patchouli, don't you worry. You can't really smell the patchouli in here. It smells more like the other notes. It's adding longevity, like lasting power, the little slight earthy, like sexiness to this fragrance, okay? So yeah, I'm not talking about dirty patchouli, okay? That's different. This is like that beautiful, almost sweet patchouli. When you mix patchouli with sweet notes, you get that like almost edible quality. That's what this has. This is Louis Vuitton Attrape-Rêves. And I have another one. This one is also from Louis Vuitton. This is my other top favorite from the house. My heart beats for this. You got the hint. It is, of course, Cœur Battant, you guys. This one is, it means heartbeat, okay? Not really sure how or why they named it heartbeat. I haven't made the connection, maybe because it's gorgeous. It's a weird name to give to a fragrance that's kind of like, you know, like almost kind of aquatic and fresh and like florally, you know, and fruity. It's kind of along the same lines as Attrape-Rêves, but this one is different from that one. This one is very kind of like fresh and fruity and floral, like yellow floral, white floral kind of thing, but at the same time it's kind of earthy. There's a slight deeper side to it. Again, that herbally kind of sexiness you get a little bit from that moss, you know, is there. There's a slight hint of patchouli, but again, not offensive, not dirty smelling, not that type of things. You guys, sometimes some of you get kind of scared when, you know, I mention words like, or notes like moss or herbal. You imagine this like, ew, moss, ew, herbs. That's not how those things manifest in fragrances. Like, it's not like literally they smell like herbs, or it's not like literally they smell like moss. You have to use imagination. It's kind of like this mossiness. It's like this, it's actually sexy, you guys. I don't know how to put it into words. It gives this slight sexiness, like this herbally sexiness. Same with things like Davana or cyprol oil, or even like patchouli. It can be sexy, okay? So don't be scared off by earthy notes or herbal notes. Just think twice, you guys. Actually get your noses on these type of fragrances before you judge them, or before you like imagine it to be something they're not. So this has like beautiful like fruity notes like pear. It has jasmine, like florals like ylang ylang, jasmine, narcissus, those type of beautiful white florals. It has a little bit of that oak moss like mentioned, you know, a little bit of patchouli, but it's absolutely sexy. When I say sexy, please believe me, 100% sexy, okay? And this is a summertime fragrance that I actually don't mind wearing this daytime or nighttime in the warmer months. You can wear it all from like spring all the way to the end of summer. Cœur Battant. Next I have one of my most absolutely loved fragrance lines again. I have so many from this fragrance line, and it's a Pkwy line of a designer fragrance house, you know, luxury line, and this is my favorite, all-time favorite from the entire line. This is Jasmin the Ange from the Christian Dior Pkwy line. This is quite expensive and very high quality, you guys. Oh my god, I'm not needing to spray any of these fragrances because they're high quality. You don't need spraying. You can smell them very, very well. This is a very beautifully like fruity, almost like honeyed jasmine. It's like a how do I explain? Yeah, honeyed jasmine. I think that's like the best way to say it. And this is like a true jasmine, you guys. It's actually a fruity jasmine, but it's a true jasmine in the sense that it's not like the dirty jasmine. It's not like it's not all about the indolic side of jasmine, if that makes sense. So the indolic part has been reduced by the fruitiness that's in this fragrance from that gorgeous apricot that has honey nuances, you know. So the apricot was a very good addition to this fragrance. So yeah, this has like gorgeous fragrance notes like juicy peach, there's juicy apricot, there's of course jasmine. It's what it's all about. There's a little bit of osmanthus, but to my relief, the osmanthus isn't the dominating floral, it's the jasmine. Of Of course, it's Jasmin d'Ange. You guys, of course, it's gonna be about jasmine. The osmanthus luckily is just in the background, blended well with jasmine. It has a massive amount of musk and a lot of vanilla, making it very sweet. It's like strolling through a jasmine grove with some fruit trees around with ripening fruits like juicy pears and apricots, if that makes any sense. Yeah, it's a very honeyed, syrupy, almost like sweet jasmine that is not at all indolic. So if you hate indolic jasmine fragrances, this is the one for you. I don't mind indolic jasmine. I think it's very sexy. In fact, you know, I have so many of them, not more here though. But yeah, this is Jasmin d'Ange by Christian Dior. You guys, absolutely love it. Next, I have another one from that same fragrance line, the Pkwy line of Christian Dior. This one is Rouge Trafalgar. Oh my God, absolutely stunning. This is also a gorgeous fruity fragrance. Very, very, very fruity from the, you know, like the raspberry and the strawberry that's in here. And I think there's a little cherry too. It's just fruity and stunning and amazing for warmer months. This is one of the, again, like well-performing ones. I would say this one performs better than Jasmin d'Ange, which isn't terrible, by the way. I tend to layer my Jasmin d'Ange with the body cream, matching body cream, which is very luscious and thick and emollient. So it makes it last a lot longer. Usually I get on average about 5-6 hours out of that one. It's not the most long lasting, but it is still very good. But it is the most divine scent, and that's why I had to give it 10 out of 10. Although it's not like 8+ lasting power, you know what I mean? Or like that big of a beast mode one at all. It's not at all. But I still had to rate it 10 out of 10 just for the composition, and it's, you know, average and, you know, good performance, not terrible. So this one is even better performer than that one. Absolutely stunning, very feminine, very, very fashionable, edgy fragrance. I can't get enough of it. I can't stop sniffing myself. These are both very much like very popular fragrances that people seem to like love, you know, no matter who you are. So yeah, this is Rouge Trafalgar by Christian Dior. Of course, it wouldn't be a luxury 10 out of 10 fragrance video without this one. Although I will start out by saying it is not the most long-lasting fragrance, but you know what? I don't care. I don't care. This composition should win an award because it is that stunning. Okay, it's that stunning. It is the best cherry fragrance still on the market. That's right. That's right. It's no one has beaten this one. No, there's no such cherry fragrance that's gonna beat this one. I tell you, you guys, I've sniffed all the cherry fragrance out on the market, including the newest ones. I'm telling you here, nothing's gonna come close to this one. I just wish this lasted just a little bit more, but I use some tricks that make it last. This one is Tom Ford Lost Cherry, of course. What did you think it was gonna be? This is the most beautiful, delicious cherry almond fragrance like there's no other. This is a gorgeous, boozy cherry almond fragrance, you guys. I'm telling you, I mean, there are no other cherry fragrances like this out on the market, and there never will be. Okay, you can try it and try you want. There's not going to be a better cherry fragrance than this. I don't care what it is. Okay, this is absolutely stunning. This is got lots of that beautiful cherry on several layers. I think it's got cherry in the top and the middle, and it's got that gorgeous boozy note, like some kind of I think it's cognac. Honestly, it could be brandy. There's that beautiful almond note that gives it such nuttiness to this fragrance. It's got like that sort of juicy fruitiness from notes like plum, there's rose, there's jasmine, all these gorgeous florals. It's got tonka bean and vanilla, which makes it very, very, very like very vanilla, you know, deep and sweet vanilla. Not to mention it also has benzoin, so it's like a very, very large vanilla accord that's in here. It's got beautiful woody notes like sandalwood. There's, you know, earthiness from tiny bit of vetiver and so on and so forth. There's so many fragrance notes to this fragrance, but what stand out the most to me are the cherry, the almond note, the booziness, the beautiful like floral notes in the background that is supporting it. It's just magical. It's a magical cherry fragrance, very sexy. There's not going to be any cherry fragrance that's going to beat this one. If you don't have this fragrance, add it to your collection. I don't care what other cherry fragrances you have. This one is Tom Ford Lost Cherry. Next, I have a gorgeous, bewitching, narcotic, hypnotic, very, very, very sort of heady a little bit, white floral that's just enchanting, absolutely magical. This one is, of course, Giorgio Armani Rouge Malachite. So you guys, this one, oh, like I said, this is such a very like bewitching, hypnotic white floral. Something about it is very bewitching. This is all about those white florals, the beautiful tuberose. There's some jasmine in here, and loads of other white florals I can smell. It's got a little bit of sandalwood, amber, tiny bit, but there's a slight soft spiciness that sort of adds to this. I just love it. There's a little bit of a kick in this fragrance in the opening. When you spray it first, it's got a bit of a kick. I'm not really sure where that comes from. I'm assuming it's thanks to some kind of spicy note that's in the opening in this fragrance. This is very tuberose dominant fragrance. It's got, like I said, other beautiful white and yellow florals. I think jasmine, and there's like ylang ylang too, I think. And you know, there's like benzoin for like that sort of resinous vanillic kind of scent. Amber, as I said, absolutely stunning, very bewitching, very hypnotic. 10 out of 10, very creamy. It's a creamy white floral with a slight kick, you know, and brightness. I don't know if that makes sense. It's very, very mysterious and sexy in a very like, I don't know, in a very enchanting way. Yeah, this is Rouge Malachite by Giorgio Armani. Next, I have a very stunning, woo, gorgeous, gorgeous beauty from Chanel. This is probably my favorite Chanel to this date from the ones that I already own. I know there are a couple of other Chanels that I'm gonna be absolutely in love with that I haven't bought yet. It is from the Les Exclusives line, you guys. It's the exclusive line of Chanel. It is, of course, Chanel Beige. This is stunning. Now, this is the Eau de Parfum, and I am so annoyed that I didn't know when I purchased this that there's a parfum version of this with a higher oil concentration that's even stronger. This one, it doesn't have the best lasting power. So what I'm actually trying to review here, and I have smelled the parfum in the boutique, Chanel boutique. So that's really, just assume in your head that I am rating mostly the Chanel Beige parfum. And it's only like, I think it's only like $30 more than this, which is crazy if you think about it. That one lasts a lot longer. Yeah, the scent profile is just, mwah. It's like the most beautiful, stunning, tropical yellow floral fragrance. I'd say mainly yellow floral, but there are some other white florals and such. It's a beautiful, honeyed yellow floral with frangipani, that beautiful white yellow floral that I just die for. You know, the Plumeria family, the frangipani, gorgeous stunner, my favorite yellow floral in the whole wide world. This has a little bit of hawthorn, which is stunning, a little freesia. There's a honeyed aspect to this fragrance. It's like a honeyed yellow floral because of there's literally honey in it. It's beautiful, you guys. I mean, like, stunning. It's a drop dead gorgeous kind of fragrance. It's like that goddess level, you know, very, very attractive drop dead woman, gorgeous goddess would wear it in the summertime, this fashionable goddess, you know, this high society girl, you know. Yeah, I absolutely love it. Smells luxurious. I am actually gonna get the parfum version of this when I run out of the eau de parfum. So just imagine that I'm actually rating the parfum because I actually smelled it. Lasts a lot longer. Same scent profile, of course. Yeah, this is Chanel Beige. Now I have a beautiful Gourmand in my hands that is just absolutely stunning. 10 out of 10 vanilla fragrance. Delicious. This is probably the most edible vanilla I have in my collection, although I have other stunning vanillas that I would rate higher than this one, like the Michalov's vanilla fragrance, which I think is one of the most divine vanilla fragrances ever. Oh my god. And if you guys want that, I have a discount code for you down in the description box. Check that out. This one to me is the most edible kind of vanilla. It is from the house of Van Cleef and Arpels. This is of course Orchidee Vanille. This one is this gorgeous like chocolatey vanilla that's just yum yum yum. It's very sweet. It's got, you know, vanilla and tonka bean, so it's a little deeper kind of vanilla. It's got that dark chocolate with the chocolatiness that's so edible. It's got almond, it's got fruity notes that's making it even more delicious, like lychee, you know. There's mandarin orange, which is the perfect syrupy sweet orange for this fragrance. There's a little powderiness, from violet. There's some woody notes. I think there's even rose in here. For like florals, there's violet and rose, like the delicate, beautiful, feminine florals. Absolutely, I think 100% feminine fragrance, if you ask me, not really unisex. Absolutely delicious, 10 out of 10. Lasting power is quite nice. Especially when I spray on my clothes, it lasts quite nicely, like 8 hours. And the projection isn't bad. It's not beast mode, but it's good. Good sillage. Absolutely love it. Orchidee Vanille, Van Cleef and Arpels. Then I have two fragrances, last but not least, from the Pkwy line of Lancôme. This is from the Maison Lancôme line, of course, that I also adore. I've done a full review of the Maison Lancôme line. I'll link it up here and down in the description box. And my first love from that line is, of course, Jasmin Marzipan. Oh my god. This is the most delicious almondy jasmine ever. Oh my god, that marzipan. I don't know if all of you have had marzipan. Hopefully all of you know what it is. It's like this icing that you can cover cakes with, or you can actually make like you can make these like fruits, like fruit shaped candies with it. It's like this gorgeous, you know, dessert you make out of ground almonds and, you know, of course confectionery sugar, so you get the picture. So the almond in here is very edible, almost like confectionery type of almond dessert, you know, like marzipan. Smells just like if you mix jasmine with marzipan, that's what this would smell like. It's a very musky, nutty, almondy jasmine that's just so unique, you know. I mean, you never think of like an almondy dessert type of jasmine, if you get what I mean. And also, by the way, this is also like Jasmin d'Ange, not very indolic. It's very like almost like edible jasmine instead, you know. This is such a huge dose of vanilla, of course. Any delicious sweet fragrance does. Musk, making it very sexy. There are some mild woody notes. There's sandalwood, giving that creamy sensuality, woody dry down to this fragrance. 10 out of 10 in my opinion. Not a beast mode fragrance, not super long lasting, but it's quite nice, above average performance. This somehow makes me feel attractive and comforted. Like, it's very comforting somehow. I used to love to wear this, especially after baths. Beautiful, just very comforting and very attractive fragrance. Jasmin Marzipan. And then last but not least, I have a fragrance that has been beaten to death. I was almost hesitant to talk about it, although this is 10 out of 10. This may have become to a lot of you meh by now because it's just been duped to death. To death. It's been copied to death. It's been duped to death, well, for a reason. It is the most stunning, delicious, jammy, rose with oud. You guessed it. It's also from the Maison Lancôme line. Of course, it is Oud Bouquet. This is, I don't care how popular this scent profile is now by now, but this is the original, okay? That's the point. This is the one that originated the whole jammy rose thing, and it's absolutely jammy rosy oud fragrance. It's exactly what it is. There's like beautiful like praline note in here that makes it so gourmand and edible. There's oud that is not offensive. It's very delicious oud because of the sweetness. It's almost adding to that edible quality of this fragrance. That rose that's in here is very jammy from the sweet notes, the gourmand notes, like praline in here. Gosh, it's so good. Of course, there's loads and loads and loads of vanilla in here, of course, to add in that sweetness. Yes, I understand this is probably a dead horse that's been beaten to death, but the fact remains that this was the original of the scents like this, and it remains a 10 out of 10 fragrance because of that gorgeous composition. This is Oud Bouquet by Maison Lancôme. You guys, those are my 10 out of 10 luxury designer fragrances that I absolutely adore. They are perfection. These compositions are what I rated these 10 out of 10 based on, mostly. You know, even more than performance, what I took into consideration is that gorgeous composition that is just out of this world, that is perfection, you know. All of them are above average performance. Most of them are super good, like well performing fragrances. Some of them are like above average, you know, good, decent performance. Absolutely stunning fragrances. I love them. So what do you guys think about these ones that I talked about? Let me know down in the comment section. What are your favorite 10 out of 10 luxury designer fragrances? Stay tuned for my 10 out of 10 niche fragrances. That should be interesting. You guys know how hard it is to narrow those ones down. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. What are your 10 out of 10 luxury designer fragrances? You know, I would really love to know your thoughts. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because that really helps me out to grow my channel. And don't forget that bell, ring the bell, because if you don't ring the bell, no point in subscribing, because you'll never know when I upload. And Instagram, don't forget that, because I post everything there before I even really do anything here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you in my next video.